Hey, it's Anming here from the Oriental Pearl channel. I'm so sorry. I'm not prepared to make a video today. I didn't expect to be making a video, but something happened and I want to defend myself, and I hope it makes me feel a little better, and I hope that you guys can get the story of what's going on. So this has been bothering me for probably about 5 years or more, just in the back of my head. I thought I was just imagining things. I thought that another creator, a channel called Abroad in Japan, I thought he really didn't like me, and we've never met or anything. It just seems like the bigger my channel has gotten, the more animosity there's been. Just took a few hours ago, I was walking around the supermarket getting dinner ready for my husband, and I'm checking on Facebook because I'm old school and I still use an iPad, and I found this post from Abroad in Japan.
The sensationalist Japan content is getting out of hand. A wall with some graffiti on it in Shibuya doesn't mean Japan is at an end. There was graffiti in Shibuya 10 years ago, there's graffiti in Shibuya today. But unfortunately, positivity doesn't drive clicks. I was in Kabukicho, Shinjuku the other day, and it was absurdly busy. There was certainly more rubbish than usual. Then I realized it was a 3-day weekend, and far busier than the average weekend. Shame. It was a missed opportunity to point my camera at the rubbish and make a video decrying the end of Japan! Now stop reading this. Every minute online is time better spent rummaging around Asia's biggest red light district with a GoPro looking for dirt. There's some serious ad revenue to be made, folks.
As a millionaire is telling me I'm making too much money, here's an actual snapshot of the revenue from the video, which is far below my average because most content is sponsored. And I did this one as a passion project because I saw a lot of changes in my neighborhood. There's a lot of problems with this post other than just being malicious, unnecessary. I asked him to take it down, it's still up. The video that I did the other day is my honest opinion, and anyone is welcome to disagree with that. It's not made to make money. There's no sponsor that's going to sponsor that kind of content. The kind of sponsored content that makes a lot of money is the kind of content that Chris makes, doing a topic with the Prefectural Tourist Bureau, whatever it's called. And I think this is also problematic because it gives people a very romanticized version of what this country is, almost like a utopia. I wanted to not only counter that, but also pick up the topics that YouTubers like him would not take. I'm not in collaboration with any prefectural office. I can talk about whatever I want from my own opinion. The video doesn't have to be checked or reviewed over as his does when he does that. And I have freedom as long as it is within the community guidelines to talk about whatever I want. And I want people to come to Japan with a balanced perspective of what the country actually is. Not come here with rose-tinted glasses where everything is utopian. That's just not what it is. I have been trying to do this video for 2 years. It wasn't just pulling out my GoPro and filming trash and throwing it up on the internet. 2 years ago, I started researching into the Toyoko kids problem and the standing woman problem. It's a lot more research in the background than just flipping out a GoPro. And by the way, what's wrong with the GoPro? This is an amazing camera. This camera has changed my life. You know, when I was getting my master's degree in China and international relations, I was going to become a diplomat, but I feel like this changed my life for the better. I think I have more influence than I ever would have had as a diplomat just doing YouTube. And when you cover topics like this, it's okay for people to disagree, but it's not okay to lash out. Chris, that would have been a great video talking about how you think that all the sensational content about the Japanese economy not being good, the graffiti or foreign immigrant problem not being good, you can counteract that and make a video stating your own opinion. It didn't have to be done in a Facebook post like that. That was just malicious, hostile, and ill-willed. But the post is still up. I truly find Chris's commentary about my channel to be a double standard and hypocritical. I think it comes more from being territorial about who has the right to film in Japan than it does about the actual things that I film. One of his favorite YouTubers is literally bald and bankrupt, who is a guy who's also inspired my channel, goes around with a similar camera to a GoPro, films interactions with people, goes to places you would never see, even here in Japan, and Chris has helped him. You talk about the definition of sensationalize. That is another level of sensationalized thumbnails, sensationalized topics, but he loves it. I don't think he really has a problem with the topics I choose. I think he has a problem with me. And this goes back to other creators that I know and respect that also have had issues with Chris. John Dobb, nicest guy in the world, OG here in the Japan YouTube community. It was no more than a few years ago that Abroad in Japan jumped on Twitter in the middle of the night to dump on John's content out of the blue for no reason. If you have a problem with John, there's something wrong with you. There's seriously something wrong with you. You're in the wrong there, which I think he realized, and that's why he deleted the Twitter post later. But I'm sorry, John, I don't mean to get you wrapped up into this. This is not John's fault. He's not involved. But there's certain things I feel like need to be said. It was this same kind of zero-sum, your win is my loss, territorial, my Japan, I'm the king of Japan kind of mentality. But to be honest, I've never told anyone this, but I'm gonna tell you something. I think Abroad in Japan is losing the plot here with viewers as well. A few years ago, I had a really good month on YouTube. A video just blew up. It changed my life. It made me decide to become a full-time YouTuber. Almost 300,000 new subscribers that came to my channel. And I never said this publicly, but when I opened up the stats and I saw where those subscribers were coming from, it was your channel, Chris. Almost 300,000 people came over. And in the comments section, there were many, many comments that came in like this. You're like a prettier, not grumpy version of Chris Broad. I think the internet was trying to tell Chris something. That maybe you're being a grumpy bumpy. Is it just me? Or maybe you lost the plot a little and it's coming off bad, it's coming off arrogant. Things that you say to criticize other channels, being sensationalist, he'll turn around and talk about Johnny Somali. Speaking of sensationalized though, the Johnny Somali drama and the rude foreigners and this and that, videos like this have convinced all the English-speaking people on YouTube that watch Japan content that this is a big issue between Japan and the West, and this is causing anti-foreign sentiment. It has nothing to do with anything. As a person who studied international relations in China, especially Japan-US China relations, is more of an issue between China and Japan than it has anything to do with Johnny Somali or any annoying streamer that's ever come here. But hey, you know what? Anything for that revenue. That's why I found that ironic. Is it just me or is that ironic? Like, definitely not for the money. Chris, we're YouTubers. We're both YouTubers, but you can't be doing that kind of stuff and then tell me that I'm just after the money or something. Like, you convinced millions of people that Johnny Somali matters. A guy who did stupid misdemeanors around Japan. Because of this kind of content, it's convinced people on the internet that speak English that this was a big issue. It's not a big issue. The stuff that I'm talking about, the homelessness and the graffiti, I feel like the stuff that I'm talking about is a much bigger issue than stupid Johnny Somali or whatever so-and-so did. The Torygate thing, all this stupid stuff that doesn't mean anything. To me, it feels like looking down from an ivory tower and hawking a loogie at the people who do the lowly jobs with the GoPro, like me. But let's be honest, Chris has reached a point in his career where he could just about sit on a toilet and people would watch. And I wish that I had started earlier. I started my YouTube channel in about 2020 when I could have started it just like Chris in 2012 when we first came to Asia. But to look down on my videos because they're not fancy enough or he doesn't think I put enough effort in, you'd be surprised. The filming, the research, we're talking about 30, 40, 50 hours per video, and that's not even including all the language practice that I had to do and still do on a daily basis to keep up my skills to be able to make that content. I knew it was going to be hard to come into this already saturated Japan community. I didn't know anybody here. I didn't have YouTube friends. And from the very start, I felt the cold shoulder, and I kind of thought that everyone in Chris's friend group just didn't like me. Maybe that's still in my head. Maybe that's me being self-conscious. I really don't get it, except, going back to the John Dobb thing, I don't have permission to be in his friend group. I'm making videos, I'm getting a lot of views, and I don't think he likes that. And that it shouldn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have to be that way. There's enough Japan to go around for all of us. I just kind of assumed that I'm out of the circle, abroad in Japan's group and all his YouTuber friends, and I should just, for the longest time, I'm like, avoid conflict, avoid conflict. I don't really want to fight, but I think the viewers love that. They got their popcorn, they're ready, they're like, oh, this is going to be a good one. I don't think it's going to be a good one. I hope that we can, talk about this. I think that maybe it's about time we should do that, but I do have to stand up and defend myself. I think other viewers have seen it of the channel, and maybe that's why I got a big influx of subscribers. I don't know. Before I go to bed, I want to say, Chris, you're being a cunt. Stop that. Stop. There's enough Japan to go around. Okay, maybe now we really won't be friends, because I said that, or I made this video, but I think in another world we would have been friends. And it's just unfortunate that there's bad blood for no reason. Maybe this will make things better. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll make it much worse. I don't know. I've never really been in a feud with a creator like this, especially a creator that I don't know. But we have a lot of mutual friends and a lot of weird parallels between me and Chris. I think we're the same exact age. He's getting married in Japan, I got married in Japan. His wife is the same age as my husband. We both like languages, we both like traveling. We've been to every prefecture in Japan. There are just some weird parallels. Taught English, things over and over again. I think there's no need for drama. I don't even know if I'll keep this video up here, but I'd like to talk to Chris and hopefully something good will come out of it. So thank you for watching. I just felt like I needed to get this off my chest. I've been silent about it for about 5 years, and yeah, it was bothering me. But that's about it. I would love to talk, and I don't know if you're open to it, but I followed you on Instagram, and I would love to start the conversation there. So I'll be looking for that. But thank you for listening, everyone, and Chris, if you did watch this, thank you for listening too. And that's about it. I'll see you in the next one.